Yeah, hi and welcome to this little presentation of BFG, which actually the acronym stands for the Business Finance Guide. It's just a little app that I've developed over time based on some issues I had in the early days of my MBA studies. So a little bit of software we put together via spreadsheeting, I guess 10, 12 years ago, that helped me learn and put together to get some results really for my studies and my MBA, particularly early on in business finance. And from there I sold it through eBay and Trade.me in New Zealand. And now with the development of apps, then I guess it's moved forward like anything, and we've got this little app that we've built here. So how do you find it? First of all, just search Business Finance Guide on the App Store, and that should be the first two that you pull up. Okay, it's just a friendly little tool. It's built around not just helping you with the equations and rote learning, but also get inside what the equations mean a little bit, and just move forward with your studies and finance from there, essentially. So really it's built around the five principal equations that are short-term solvency, efficiency, profitability, leverage, and finally market-based. I'll just give you a quick example of one initially, and it'll explain how basically the little tool works. So early on in your studies you get into short-term solvency equations, the current ratio and the quick ratio. So if you're in business on, I guess for yourself, and you want to find out how you're going, one of the first things you're going to learn, I guess, in your early French studies is the quick ratio. Just a snapshot of how you're getting on, sometimes known as the acid test. So just we'll poke some numbers in here. So quick assets, just going to put in a figure of 500 here, okay, and current liabilities, I'm just going to make it 250, okay, and I'll calculate it. It gives you the ratio of 2. Just as a buy, you're probably looking at a ratio of 1.1 to 1.2. So for the numbers that have been punched in here, a result, if it was your little business, I guess you'd be pretty happy. The example here, however, is what it does inside those numbers. So you've got your quick ratios, your definition at the top, and it's built out of quick assets and divided by quick liabilities. What are quick assets? Well, we've got them here, okay? Assets that can be easily converted into cash or already in a cash form, okay? And obviously what are current liabilities? Here's your definition down here, a little bit longer, a bit more expanded, there's a little bit more to it, but essentially these are the bills that are due shortly and usually within the 1 year. Okay, so the idea behind the entire little app that it gives you not just the calculation to constantly work over and top off and get to understand and rote learn, but what those numbers mean and breaks them down, and how you want to work with that and how you want to develop it, that's entirely up to you. Okay, but if we just push ourselves through very quickly, so efficiency, there's a number of equations there. Debtors turnover, average daily sales, inventory turnover in days. Okay, and we come down here, we've got profitability, net profit margin, gross profit margin, asset turnover, all the way down to earnings per share. Okay, leverage, when you're starting to understand what's really going on, debt to equity, debt to total assets, and obviously interest coverage. Okay, and finally into the juicy stuff at the bottom as you roll it up and you get into your market-based equations. The process that follows in terms of what we've got here is the numbers you put in earlier on. A lot of those are going to be required to calculate with the calculations as you get further down. So it'll essentially build a story for you while you're beginning to understand how those numbers work and understand those definitions. Another little thing that we've basically thrown here is a quiz. So there's an awful lot of I guess definitions you've got to understand all the way through your studies. Okay, now all these definitions have been put with narratives underneath them here. So operating lease, profit, etc., sunken costs. What the definition is, and how it fits into what you're studying. So the way you get around that, I guess the way you can help understand that is a bit of a quiz. And I'll just start the quiz here. You've got your definition there, and you've got one of your answers. Is it correct? Carry on through. There's 25 questions in total. Test yourself, test your definitions, and give yourself an answer. Okay, and I'll give you results at the very end of it. I'll just quit that there now. Okay, so I mean that's essentially what it is. It's just something that I developed many years ago to help me study. I've used it since. I've sold it in a very basic form, I guess, before the emergence of apps, the environment of apps. Have a look at it, play with it, like us on Facebook if you do, give us some feedback, and really just good luck with your studies. I hope it does for you what it did for me.